Alright, everything you need to know about this farm, you'll find out in the next 2 minutes. Now the raid farm is filling up. The raid bar is filling up. Now watch this. Boom. The raid is instantly killed. The limiting factor of this farm is bad omen and how fast the raid bar can fill up. These are the raiders from the previous wave. And you just saw we just got bad omen again. So while the raid bar is filling up, I am currently killing the raiders from the last wave. I don't have to wait on them to be killed to trigger the next wave. I kill them while it's triggering. In the same way that my previous raid farm jumped them down, this jumps them upwards. Now, to be fair, Yodolf is the one who figured out you could jump them upwards, and there will be a link to his channel. He has some amazing raid farm stuff coming up, so I suggest you subscribe to his channel. I mean, like, really incredible stuff. So I'll link his channel in the description, so go check him out. But this is just a variation of the Instakill farm that I posted in my last raid farm video. Only it doesn't require any digging. And it takes about 2 minutes and 3 seconds to clear an entire wave on hard. Which is at least twice as fast as other raid farms that don't use an insta-kill method like this. Okay, now that you've seen it work, let me show you how it works. These are the spawn locations for the outpost. They jump into a trident killer. That gives me bad omen. This is my storage, and yes, if you AFK here for a few hours, you definitely need that much storage. Oh, here are the raiders from the last wave that didn't get killed yet. Here is my village. This is the villager that triggers the raid. Now, up here, way up here. In fact, 80 blocks up. I have a second village. And because there are no spawnable blocks down there where that first village is, the raid starts at the top of the world finding a spawnable location. And it finds one here inside of this second village. So they are dumped upwards instead of downwards like my last video. They are dumped up into this village, and it instantly kills the raid wave. Now they aren't physically killed yet. They have to fall down through here, and the ravagers are killed by this lava, and the rest of the mobs fall down here. Now that I've shown you how it works and how fast it is, let me show you how to build it. I just want to give you a little bit better view of it before we go into how to build it. This is without its skin on, and that skin is completely optional. I thought it looked cool. Plus, one of my friends, his favorite color is cyan, so I built it in that. I thought it looked cool, so I decided to skin it like that. Because honestly, these tower raid farms are ugly. So, here's the spawn platform with the second village. Here's the drop chute where it goes down from a 4 to a 2x2. Here's the block of water here so that it slows down so that they don't insta-die on the thing, and the trident killer actually gets a chance to kill them. Of course, here's our trident killer. There's our looting sword. Our vast storage that you need. Right here is the spawn platforms for the outposts, all 4 of them. Yours may not have 4, yours may only have 1, or it may have 2, or of course it may have 4 like this one. And these are the triangulars for that. And that's what the farm looks like without the skin on it. Obviously, step 1 is find an outpost. Now, I chose this outpost on purpose. Not because it's a great outpost, but because it's a terrible outpost. This outpost has all the problems you don't want to see in an outpost. It has caves. It has ravines. It has a river. It has a mountain. It has large hills. This is a problem outpost. It has 4 spawn locations, which 4 spawn locations is only a problem if you don't know how to find them. If you don't account for each and every spawn location, and you don't either block them or use them, you'll have pillagers roaming around, and you will never spawn a captain. The cap for the pillager outpost is 8. It's 1 captain and 7 pillagers. You will never spawn a captain as long as you have pillagers roaming around for free. I'm going to kill all the pillagers and show you that there are exactly 8. See that? 8 pillagers. One of them is a captain, and the other 7 are just regular pillagers. If you have a pillager free, you will never spawn another captain. I'm also going to show you how to find the spawn locations, and then we'll talk about what you can do with them. Now, I recommend using them because the more spawn locations you have, the actual better your chances are of getting bad omen, of spawning more captains. But if you don't want to, if you think the build is too complicated, if you don't have the resources for all the trident killers, that's fine. You don't have to use all of them. Also, pillagers spawn in the outpost in any light level, so you no longer have to block at the sides. That's outdated information. Pillagers spawn in a 24 to 54 radius, meaning that you have to be within 24 to 54 blocks radius of their spawn locations. And in this particular outpost, where are the maps? Okay. That's north. I just wanted to show you on the map. I already knew. So, to the south, which is this direction, and east, which is this direction, you'll notice that I have a shader pack on that shows me chunk borders, that this banner extends 1 block over, as well as here. So this means that this outpost is actually in 4 different chunks. It is in this chunk right here by 1 block. It is in this chunk by 14 blocks by 1. And in the same way with this one. So there's going to be a spawn spot approximately right here, 1 right here, 1 right here, and 1 in the center of this outpost. And I'll show you how to mark and find those locations. There was one more thing I was going to... Oh. While we're talking about the outpost, before we tear it down, you need to know the height of this spawn, this outpost. Mine is 84. Yours may be different. Yours may be 90. Yours may be 100. Yours may be 81. But you need to know the height of this platform right here. All our measurements will be taken from there. Now, pillagers can spawn in those 4 locations that I've marked out. From this Y level of this base platform right here, all the way to 3 levels below this one. So in our case it would be 81. They can spawn all the way from 64 to 81. Now the next step is to simply tear down the outpost. Now that you have your outpost torn down, there are a couple of things that we need to talk about. One is, you're going to constantly have pillagers. If you're not within 24 blocks of here, I just flew up and these pillagers spawn. So we need to mark these locations as quickly as we can so that we can stop pillagers from spawning. Now, pull out your map from earlier. Notice that that's north still. You need to come 2 blocks to the south and to the east of your outpost. That's the farthest block, so 1, 2 blocks. And you need to do that to the east as well. You don't need to do it to the north and west because you're never going to have any extra spots to the north or west. And it doesn't have to be grass blocks. It can be any solid block. Use the blocks from the outpost that you just tore down. Now that you have that, you're going to need some glass panes or you're going to need some iron bars. Your choice. I use glass panes just because they show up a little better on camera. And what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to cover the entire outpost. And not even really the entire outpost. Just do all the way to the corner right here of these two blocks. And then do, I don't know, at least halfway. A little more than halfway. If you're doing this in creative, it's fine because you can just make a copy of your world and then do it in creative. And then you'll know where the spawn locations are for that particular outpost. Now, if you don't have a way to put a chunk shader pack on, I will include in the description a link to a slime chunk finder. Now, it's handy for finding slime chunks, but it's also handy because if you type in your coordinates, you can see with the chunks and you can see where you are in relation to the chunks. So it's very handy for finding your chunk borders without having to do math, without having to do any kind of ridiculous stuff. So if you're on Xbox or PlayStation or Switch or various other platforms that you can't use these shaders on. So now that we have that marked out, when we move away, the pillagers will spawn and will be trapped in between the glass panes. Now, it may take a few minutes. Okay, we already have some spawn there. There's our captain, obviously. So, what you need to know is that they spawn on the northwest, once again, northwest corner of the block. So it's actually this block right here is where they are spawning. Let's get a sword and kill those guys. And we'll go ahead and mark this spawn location. Now that glass blocks will keep them from spawning. And like I said, northwest, so it'll actually be this block right here. Now we're about to get bad omen. Which is fine because we don't have any villagers here yet. Now we should have 2 additional spots here. So I'm going to move back away and see if we can find them. And as you see, they spawned in just like I predicted. Once again, northwest. Now we'll have no more pillagers spawning. See? No pillagers present. So now that we've marked our spawn locations, let's remove the glass panes and we'll proceed to the next steps. Now that you have that done, remember our northwest. So when a mob spawns on a location and you use leaves or glass to insta push it, it falls northwest or falls west. So we need to put our trident killers in this area. However, first remember our previous number of 84, and our mobs can spawn, our pillagers can spawn up to 81. So this will be their spawn height right here. However, we want to actually allow them to fall a little bit, so we want to come down. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. we want to come down to 77, and this will be the location of the Trident Killer. However, we want to extend the platform out, and this Trident Killer is based on Navy Nexus design, and actually it's his actual design, so go to his channel, which will be in the description, to learn more about it, and he has various other zero-tick farms. He builds incredible stuff, so go check him out. Link will be in the description. Place your 4 observers like this. And then you'll need a redstone torch for each one. Now, you can use these right here are obviously going to be solid blocks, but for the rest of these I'm going to use glass. You don't have to use glass, but you can if you want to. You can use a solid block, however I am not. I'm going to use glass because I think it looks better. But these can absolutely be a solid block. Anytime I use glass in this form, you can use a solid block. Because glass is spawnable to raids. So if I use a glass, you can use a solid block. If I use leaves, it has to be leaves. Because leaves are not spawnable to raids. And then we need a trident for the trident killer. Don't use more than 3 to 4, because if you use more than 5, you're just wasting them. A lever there will turn it on and off. And that one is finished, and the other 4 are done exactly the same way. Now that you have all 4 of them completed, they should look like this. What I recommend is coming in, placing you a platform here out of leaves. Also, I recommend breaking these corners. And on the outside ones, I recommend just breaking them off, because you're not going to be out here anyways. But on these inside ones, you need to place leaves there so that they are not spawnable. Like I said, if you leave blocks where the raids can spawn, they absolutely will. And they will absolutely kill you. So if you leave spawnable blocks, the raids absolutely will spawn. Now all of these aren't necessary, but if you're looking for a very minimum, you just need enough so you can reach the on and off switches here. Now that you have that done, we need to talk about how you're going to get up and down from here. So come here to this corner, place down scaffolding. It's going to be various numbers here, depending on your train height, the height of your outpost, that sort of thing. I can't give you an exact number because yours will be different. But now that we're here, we need to keep in mind that from 81, we can spawn pillagers up to 54 blocks away. So we're going to go between 24 and 54. That's the spawn radius. Between the top of that block to our AFK location, because we need to be able to get Bad Omen at our AFK location. Now with that said, we're going to go up 50 blocks from 81. So we're going to go to 131. Well, we went a little higher. Okay, 131. You reach 131, you're actually going to need to go down 2 blocks. And you're going to need to place a block there just so you can crouch. Okay. And these can obviously be solid blocks. I'm going to use glass, but you can use solid block if you'd like. Obviously still crouched. This is going to form the basis of our collection system. Push that down. Let's hope it falls down quickly. Okay. There you go. Now, a layer of leaves. Build your scaffolding up. That's from something earlier I was testing out. And that will be your collection system. Your drops will go into this chest. Now, how you do your collection system is up to you. I do a system of hoppers and chests all the way down. However, you may wish to do an item filter so that you separate your emeralds from in your arrows and your other stackables. You may wish to separate them. So I'm not going to show that right now. I'm not going to show how to build a collection system. However, all your drops will end up in this chest. However, know that this chest is not adequate. You will need hoppers and chests to collect. Okay. Now that we have all of that situated, it's time to build our trident killer here. And of course, just like we did below. And once again, this is the same design of Navy Nexus. Go check out his channel. He builds incredible redstone stuff. He builds zero tick farms. He has a gold farm coming up that's going to be next level, so check it out. Now, I recommend that you make this platform a little bigger, make it nice and comfortable for yourself up here, because the last thing you want to do is fall off. Now, I'm not saying get crazy with it and make it huge, but you know, just a couple blocks so you don't fall off accidentally. And you're thinking, I'll just put some fence posts there. Don't do that. Leaves only. Nothing from here up can be anything other than leaves or scaffolding. It all has to have leaves or scaffolding on top of it. No exposed blocks. Now, our AFK platform here is at 131. So I like to go up about 20 blocks. Now that we're 20 blocks up, what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to place signs. And this is for a simple fact is that our village will be too far up, and if our mobs aren't slowed down, they won't be killed by the Trident Killer, and we won't get looting 3 effect. They'll hit the ground and they'll die instantly. We don't want that. Now, before we continue any farther up, we need to talk about one thing. We need to talk about where we're going to place our villagers. Now, we're here at this platform right here, but we need to be within 12 vertical blocks of where our villager is going to be. So we're at 131, so he can be at 143. Now, we're not going to place our villager yet, for a simple fact of we need to place the upper one first, because you'll be bringing him through a bubble column up, and we don't want these 2 villages to interfere with each other. So we just want to mark the location right now, and know that we'll be placing a bed and a villager right here. But I wanted to mark that so that we knew where we're at. So 142 plus 80 is 222. That's how high we'll be going up for our raid platform. So we'll continue this up, all the way up. We did that. We're up here at 210. I said we were going to go to 222, but there's one more step we need to do before we get there. We need to extend this out to, sorry, not that far, only 2 blocks out. And this is because the entrance to our kill chamber is 4x4 instead of 2x2. And this section right here is going to reduce that. Place a sign there. Place a sign there. Whoops. Place a sign there. Place a sign there. Or, alternatively, it could go there. Now place your water block here. Oh, I didn't mean to waterlog that. Once again, nothing but leaves from here on up. Place it against the glass or solid block, because that's a lot of glass. And it doesn't have to be glass, it can be solid blocks. Especially this part, because you're never going to see it. You're never going to climb back up here once you have it completed. Now that will sweep our 4x4 into a 2x2. So now we go up to 222. Once you're at 222, it gets really simple. You just come out from every side 7 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, once you have that done, it should look like this. And what you're going to need to do is go up 1 and out 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then do that all the way around. Now that you have that completed, it should look like this. And you're going to need to take stairs. Actually, you can knock off the corner, save yourself some blocks. Take your stairs like this, go all the way around. the wrong one out there. Now, I recommend building an infinite water source and then just filling these up. And we're using stairs because it's harder for them to freeze because we're so far up, depending on your location. Now, once you have that done, you're going to build a 3-high wall, and you're going to cap it with leaves. You're going to build a 3-high wall and cap it with leaves all the way around. Now, once completed, your wall should look something like this. This is just to keep pillagers from spawning here during a raid and falling outside of the farm. We don't want that. We want them to fall inside the farm. So come to the center here, pull out your glass panes, 2, 3 like that, 1, 2, break that one, and that could be any block actually. And what we're going to need to do is, we have bad omen. We've had it the whole time we've been constructing, but it hasn't been a problem. So we're going to need to get rid of our bad omen, because it's time to add the villagers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we want to allow plenty of room underneath there for ravagers and other things to come by. And of course, these are temporary blocks. So you're going to need to place a bed. And yes, that has to be some type of block. It can be glass, it could be a solid block, whatever you like, because you can't place a bed on leaves, no matter how bad you try. So now it needs to be nighttime. And like I said, bring your villager up with a bubble column. And then once it becomes nighttime, he will link to the bed. 1, 2, 3. He will get in the bed. You will surround him with leaves. And then come under. Break both those blocks. Don't hit the bed. And encase him in leaves. So far it should look like that. Okay. Now the next step is you're going to need some signs. You're going to need 16 in all. And you're going to place them exactly like this. You're not going to place them there. That's wrong. You're going to aim right at the edge of that one. If it interrupts the water stream, you did it wrong. Okay. And what you're going to do is you're going to place the lava right here. What this does is when ravagers come, they get burned up by the lava. However, pillagers fall down here safely. Now, a couple of pillager riders will die, and it will cut into our rates of emeralds ever so slightly. However, this is the best way to kill Ravagers. Ravagers clog up your Trident killers, especially a 2x2 Trident killer. And because our Trident killers, we can't expand much larger than that, Ravagers are a real problem. So we're willing to sacrifice a couple emeralds because this farm is so fast. So, also, we don't have to sort the saddles. I mean, those things are trash. Once you have a few, they're all trash after that. So now that we have that, the upper part of our farm is finished. What we need to concern ourselves with is this. Come here, place a bed. Once again, tear down your bubble column to here. Bring your villager up at nighttime. And I know you can't see, and that's a baby villager. He's in bed. 2, 3, 3. All the way around. And easy as that. Now, one last thing. In 1.14, there's all kinds of bugs involved mob spawning, where they can spawn on leaves, they can spawn on glass. So, just for your own safety, just torch it up. That will solve all of that. Do I have a trident in there? Okay, good. So that will solve all of those problems. Same thing with down here. Just torch it up. This is for your own safety. Now you don't have to worry about mob spawning in here. You'll be safe everywhere on your tower. Now, down there on the ground, I can't vouch for your safety. Up here, completely safe. And like I said, the last thing you want is you have built this and a skeleton shoot you off or a creeper blow it up. So, once it's lit up like that, you're good to go. No solid blocks, leaves only. If you find a place that I actually put a solid block in my design, replace it with a leaf. No solid blocks. If this is a solid block, they can spawn here because it's an air gap, and they can spawn with their head in a transparent block. No solid blocks. No solid blocks. Alright, let's test this out. Of course, climb up our scaffolding. We're not going to because it's too slow. Turn on our Trident killer. You can see. Let me make sure all those are on down here. Yeah, they're all on. Did I not throw a trident in this one? That does sound a little bit like me. If you do this, and one of your trident killers isn't working, did they despawn? What's going on here? As long as you have pillagers, you'll never spawn a captain. Very strange. Possible bug in 1.14. Tridents despawning. Very strange. Once again, as long as you have pillagers, you won't spawn a captain. and you'll never trigger a raid. Look, shout out to our Iron Golem friend. I think we missed. That's better. Now we're killing pillagers down there, and any minute now we'll spawn a raid. Okay, we triggered a raid. Now that we have everything running, our bad omen is coming a little faster now. And look there, everything works. Of course, our raid is spawning up here on this platform, and it's in this village. And of course, the fire here, the lava is killing the Ravagers. Everything else is falling down to our Afk platform and being killed. And as you can hear, the slight dinging, we are collecting the experience. And like I said, you will need to build some kind of collection system, depending on if you want to build item sorters, or if you want to build just straight chests. That's what I do, because I'm too lazy to build item sorters. And I can show you what the chest system will look like if you choose to go that route. You just simply build chests and build them down as far as you want to go. And each item will filter its way down. Now, in the earlier version, I built it all the way down to this platform right here. Let me show you that. Now, personally, I believe you can never have too much storage, because this thing produces between 1900 and 2000 emeralds per hour, not to mention all the other unstackables. I mean, this thing is ridiculously fast. So it's just a series of hoppers and chests all the way up and down. You can sort those out on your own. This is how I do it. You may want to do item filters, because you may not want all this equipment. Now, down here you should be safe. You should be able to put smelters and various other things, so that all of this gear you can smelt down into iron. So this is a very effective iron farm also, along with emeralds. And you'll get witch drops, you'll get totems, books. If the books are not good, use a grindstone. This way you don't have to farm leather for books. Use a grindstone and use those books to trade with villagers. Okay, one final look inside the farm. One final look outside the farm. One final look at the outside skin. Now, you don't have to do this. Like I said, this is completely optional. But I thought it looked cool, and I wanted to show it off. Like I said, the tower raid farms are incredibly ugly, and this is the best I could do to kind of disguise it. I'll get a close-up in case you want to look at the letters. You should be able to count those out. Pause it if you need to. Alright, if you have any questions, comments, You think I'm an idiot? Go ahead and tell me in the description. Also, in the description, you'll find links to various people that I think do cool stuff and that I know have cool projects coming up. Thank you for watching.